Up for these guys to come share. Who's up first?
I keep zooming in, you keep zooming out.
Good morning. My name's Kaylee, for those of you who don't know. I'm a senior here. This was my second urban plunge, and sadly my last until I can come back and be a leader. But there's two people on this trip that had a huge impact on this trip for me. Jackie and Hannah, will you please come down here? Come on.
Wake up.
This is Hannah. She's a sophomore. And this is Jackie. She's one of our she's one of our leaders. And the three of us became really close over this trip. And we, at RPM, we're in the same small group, and we rode together to Santa Cruz and stuff. And we built a lot of memories. And because of these two, this urban plunge was something that will mean something to me forever, as well as the however many people are sitting here, plus the ones that couldn't make it. But these two really had a huge impact on my life, so I just wanted to say thank you to the both of them.
My name's Brittany. I'm a senior, and I've been going to youth group here since 6th grade. And this is my fourth and final urban plunge as a student. Just to kind of piggyback on what Kaylee said, relationships are really important, and going on urban plunge really makes you realize that, because in our day-to-day life, we tend to take the people closest to us for granted. And two of my best friends actually have gone on this trip with me since we've been in high school. And especially this year, it made me realize how much I take them for granted. And being with them and staying in the same room with them for, 4 days? We kind of built back our bonds, and it's just, with relationships, you have to remember that the small things that you can do for people often mean the most. So, yeah.
So before Urban Plunge, I felt super stressed out because I'm a senior, and college is something, and the rest of our lives, something starting now, okay, so I've been stressed out because of the future, because we don't know what's in store for us. So I've been falling behind on my faith and everything, and I was really worried that one day I'd just be I can't do it anymore. And so I went to Urban Plunge, and usually those trips revives everything. It makes me feel better, and I know that God's there with me. And we went on Wednesday, we went to a youth group, a different youth group, the youth group in Santa Cruz. And they sang a song that was called Dance With Me, and it goes, dance with me, O lover of my soul, to the song of all songs. And it resonated with me so much, because the song of all songs is the song that's throughout everything, and God dancing with me, I don't know, it made me feel I'm never gonna be alone. It solidified the fact that God will always be there, and I don't need to worry about anything. And so like I came back and I was wondering, why am I so happy? Why do I feel like nothing can get in my way? And then I realized it's God and it's this trip, it's everything, and it's
You go, girl.
Hey guys, I'm Seth. I'm a junior in high school. I just wanted to say something about, the confidence of the group. And, Jackie gave me a good verse to share that sort of resonates with the Lord and such. It says, it's from Jeremiah 29:11. It says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. Oh, that's nice. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart.
Amen.
Amen.
So, something that this year, I was more of in the background. I wasn't really all out there because I kind of wanted to step back and see what it was like to observe the rest of the kids go at it. And wow, was I surprised. Had seeing it from the more of a leader perspective than I was actually seeing it from my own perspective. They're out there. Something that Carissa had done was she suggested, hey, there's a bunch of homeless people that didn't make it to church the day that we went to Elm Street Mission to get them food. And she was like, this is my last urban plunge. I want to bring them something. And so they got a team together and they made sandwiches and they went out on the streets. They just walked around and prayed for people and gave sandwiches. I wasn't with them, but it was great. It was awesome to see it them just walking around. I would look out the gate and see them just like, holy cow, I want to do that. The confidence that they had, it was all in. They were seeking God in what they were doing with all their heart. And, that's something that's sometimes hard to find, someone with, confidence to continue and keep going fearlessly. I have to say that for the times that I've gone on this trip with these guys, never fails to amaze me that that's always there. And I hope that carries on throughout their lives because it's kind of important.
Church. My name is Scott, and this is my fourth Urban Plunge. And what Urban Plunge does a lot, we get to go serve, and when we do that, and then Dave comes up with the topic like this year is patience. So we learn that. But nothing you get to see on this trip is because we go through our lives, jobs, or we have a school personally, and you have to deal with all the non-Christians. There's people who are just out there attacking you. And on this trip, you get to spend just time with just Christians and family loving people. And that makes me so just, I don't know, I feel like it's a little glimpse of heaven. And it makes me super excited just to be with people because the whole week you're just with people who are on the same page with you and know what the end result's gonna be when you get there. And knowing that makes me super happy, knowing that we all love each other. And we're doing this, why we're doing what we're doing. And because after day, we go to school, we go to work, you get tired, you get attacked, and if you get tired of it, and it's nice to know that you have a whole family supporting you and got your back, fight each day, with God and your family, and we all have each other's backs, and be able to serve together. So that's what this trip does for me, at least. So, thank you.
Hello? Oh, okay, hi. So, my name's Daisy. I'm
been going to youth group up in RPN and JHO for a while, since 7th grade, or yeah, 7th and 8th grade. Anyways, yeah, like, I've been to Urban Plunge. This is my 2nd year at Urban Plunge, and it's like amazing. Like, I love it so much. And I don't really know what to say, but just trying to get it up here. So, I think my favorite part though was like Deborah was talking about, the youth group we went to on like one of the last days, and like it was just like great. Like I wanted to go back there and I wanted to like stay there. Like we played this intense Duck Duck Goose game there, and it was just amazing. Like meeting new people and everything. So that was pretty great. And yeah, I didn't really want to leave. So, anyways, yeah, I love all these people, and it was great coming with them and having them all around me there. So.
Hello? Alright, that works. Hi, I'm Courtney, and this is my 4th year. And this is my 4th year at Urban Plunge, and I'm a senior. There we go. So, at Urban Plunge, we went to Elm Street, and there was this guy that I talked to, and he was talking about how he'd been homeless for a long time, and was having a lot of trouble with money, and he couldn't find anybody who would give him a job because of the way his background and all this other stuff. So, I don't know, it just kind of reminded me that sometimes you have to go down before you go up, because his grandpa, like, who he loved, loved a lot, had recently died, and he was just really sad about it, and of course he was sad about it, I don't know. But his grandpa gave him an inheritance, and he was getting money, and he was able to go back to college, and start doing what he wanted to do, and it just hit me hard, because sometimes you have to go down before you go up, and it was cool how God's always with you in everything you're doing, no matter how low you feel or how high you feel, he's just always there. Really hard.
Hi, I'm Dana. I'm a sophomore in high school, and this is my first year going because I didn't get to go last year. My favorite part was working at the Frontier Ranch where they do summer camps, and I liked how we all got together and started working together and cleaning out all the cabins, and I just like how all work together. So. Yeah.
My name is Jessica. This is my second Urban Plunge. I'm a junior in high school. I'm also a senior, but I'm not there yet. I just wanted to kind of challenge you guys for a moment. On Tuesday morning, which was our first morning there, we kind of did a morning devotional, and Dave had us all read this section of, I think it was Luke? Yeah, it was Luke something, right? You guys can read whatever you want. But he had us he had us take that section of Luke and go outside, away from everything, away from people and our friends and all this type of stuff, and just sit there and read that section by ourselves and just kind of pray about it and write if we wanted to and all that type of stuff. And what I had done is where we stayed with the lodge up here on this massive hill, and we walked down the big hill to Frontier Ranch. And I walked all the way down the big hill to Frontier Ranch on this little play set that I sat at, and I read that section of Luke. I read it 3 times, over and over again. And I sat there for a moment, and I just closed my eyes, and I heard woodpeckers in the background, and frogs ribbiting, crickets doing their thing, and all this crazy stuff, and it was just insane how peaceful it was. I wasn't hearing anything. Everything was all wet. I was expecting it to be cold, but it wasn't cold, and it was just awesome. So I challenge all you guys to sometime this week go out super early in the morning. You can have light if you want light, and just read a section of the Bible and just see how God really just changes that for you. Just being away from everything and listening to what God created, listening to the sounds that God made. I just challenge you all to do that. Yeah.
Okay, I can say unequivocally, my husband and I were the two oldest kids ever to go away. It was our first trip, and I pray and I beg Dave that it will not be our last. I don't know if you folks have any idea at all what great young men and women you have raised. More importantly, I'm not sure any of us knew how strong they were in their faith. I want to tell you a little story real quick. They had fun. They were always respectful. They were sharing. They were caring. They stood out everywhere we went, not just because they all wore the green t-shirts, but because when you look at these young people around groups of other peers, you realize that these are the greatest things that God ever created. I went to have fun with my grandson, but what I learned was why he is so adamant about never missing a Thursday night. It's because these kids, these leaders in this church that work with these kids are so awesome, and they've given them such a love of God and life and humanity that I wouldn't want to be anyplace else. Now I know Dave and Karen and all the people up here, Sandy and Jackie, and that they all get tired. You know, these kids show up at 6 o'clock, and I literally have to drag my grandson out of here at 9. Mark, you've been just such an inspiration to him all these years. And it all started with the little group of Awanas 20 years ago. I cannot say enough to Marquita Williams, Paula, all of you that have given your heart and soul to these kids. I watch these guys come in, they're so tired after working all day, and as soon as they walk into the room with those kids, it's like God gives them this extra bolt of energy. And when you see what the results are, it just touches your heart like nothing I've ever felt. When they took Gabriel to the hospital because he had an asthma attack, most kids would not really know what to do, I think. They all stood there, they all expressed their concern, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a group of kids that were working so hard, parents, your kids worked so hard. You cannot believe. They sanitized mattresses and they swept out the little cabins. But these kids were working away and they heard about Gabriel. They stopped right there and then, no adults around, except my husband and I standing over in one of the cabins. And they said a prayer. They prayed, each one of them, with all of their hearts, that God would watch over Gabriel and help him to get well, that Dave would find a place to get him medical attention, that they would be safe, and that God would have his hand in everything that would go on, and that they would find a doctor. And the whole focus was, what can God do? What can we do for God? The whole week was that way. Now, my husband and I are 63 and 73, and I'll leave you to guess which way that goes. But if you think you're too old to get out there and have fun with kids, believe me, you are so wrong. They need your wisdom, but They need for you to realize what great men and women they become because of each of you, because of Dave, because of the programs this church offers. These are outstanding young men and women, and you all have the right to be very, very proud.
Good morning. My name's Henry. I'm a senior here, and I went once before 2 years ago. And I've lately been struggling a bit with my faith, just because I've let my worries outgrow my faith a bit. I've been worrying too much about too many things, where I'm going after high school, what job I'm going to go for, and just where I'm going to go in life, and what I'm supposed to do, what God wants me to do. And going on this trip was really an eye-opener for me, because, like Courtney was saying, that guy at Elm Street, Chase, his grandpa died, and he was in a car crash. A tow truck hit him, and he almost died from it and had internal bleeding. And for just all the joy he had and how happy he was to just be like worshiping God and alive today, and for each day he has, whether it's his last or if it's the beginning of a long adventure, just the joy that the people had, even though they had barely anything at all, just how much joy they had towards God and how carefree they were and how they just wanted to help others even though they didn't have much themselves. It was just an eye-opener that God's greater than all of our worries, all of our problems, and all of our doubts, and no problem or anything is too big for him to overcome. And they're only there to make us stronger and lead us to where we're supposed to be in life. And that was just something that stood out on the trip for me. And I was really blessed to be able to go with all these guys back here. I consider all them family. And I hope to come again as a leader in a few years maybe. And it's just a great experience I've had the last few years going to youth group here. And I look forward to helping out any way I can and just doing more of God's work anywhere I am able to.
Okay, hi, I'm Troy. For some people, Cowboy Troy. And I'm a junior in high school, and I'm new here. I'm new to the town. I've probably only been going to this youth group for about 2 months or so. So I got to go out on the second month here to the Santa Cruz Mission Urban Plunge with these guys without really knowing them. I mean, I kind of knew them, or kind of like, oh hi, it's Troy, and stuff. But it wasn't really like I knew them. They were kind of strangers at certain points. But getting to go out to Urban Plunge with them was crazy because I got to know them. I got to become part of them. And it was crazy. This trip was a little bit different than any other trip I've ever been on, because I've been on other trips. I've been with other churches. I've been to different youth retreats and whatnot, but it's always been about us and about having fun and about God, of course, and getting together. But it was all about unity and everything. But it was more about having fun. It was more about our time together. And this was a lot about our time together. It was a lot about unity. It was all about God. But it was more work. It was work. We went out and did things. We actually went out and worked and were servants of God. We went to the homeless shelter and we fed people and we gave out sandwiches and we showed people love. We actually showed them what we were. We showed them what we were to be Christians. It was crazy, this trip. We went out to sorry, I'm freaking out. We went to a cemetery for the first thing we showed up, and this just keeps playing in my mind over and over and over again that we went to the cemetery and we were working, and the cemetery is really, really old and not well taken care of, but there's the project that's been working on it recently, but there's a lot of work to do, so we're out there, we're making a difference, but you're working on it yourself and you don't feel like you're doing much by pulling weeds and stuff, and then you realize that there's 35 of us, and you look around and whoa, this place looks way different than when we showed up. These people came up to us and asked Dave and a few of us what we were doing here, because they were just coming around the cemetery to look, and Dave was all, well, these guys are here they're giving up their spring break to come here and work at different projects, and we're just working all the time, and they're all like, wow, you guys are great. Why are you guys such good kids? And I'm all, because we go to church. And they're all like, wow. Well, our friend from middle school is actually buried right over here, and she was our best friend, and we haven't been able to see her grave. I mean, it was so covered in weeds, but like you guys are really, really changing it. We actually get to come here and visit everyone. Just it's like way different here because you guys. And that right there was like, it just keeps playing in my mind over and over and over again. Just those little moments like that we're planting seeds. We're showing people what it's like to be a Christian. We're showing people that we are out there making a difference. We're not just sitting here at our church and congregating and saying we love Lord and then living daily lives like everyone else without doing anything. We're actually getting out there and we're actually working. We're actually serving. We're actually showing people God's love. And it's just crazy how different it is elsewhere. But here, it's all about that. It's all about serving. It's all about service is love and work gloves. And it's just perfect. That's just this program. Our love for God is shown through this church. I love that.
Brett took my shirt. Hey, Mike. Good. I'm Jesse. I've been in this church for a long, long time. This little grew up with Jeff and Dave. My brother went with Dave. And this family is such an awesome family, and this church is just an awesome church. I just can't believe you guys haven't talked about Stefan yet. Just no one's talked about Stefan. Stefan, he's an amazing guy. I mean, the love in his heart is just poured out. I mean, he just has so much love for so many people. And he's been through so much, and he still goes out and he serves and he serves and he serves, and he does not stop at all. He's like older, I guess. He's up there, but but he's just retired too. He retired from where we first went to, where we first met him. But then now, when we're there, he just got another job. So I mean, he doesn't stop working. And he spoke at the Elm Tree Mission, and just his words just give you hope and hope and hope. And he was saying, well, I mean, if don't believe in God, I mean, God still believes in you, and He still, is in your life, and it's just amazing what he was talking about, and it's just, and it's an inspiration to all of us, because you just want to be with him all the time. You just want to feel his love all the time, and he was, a couple years ago, me and him were one-on-one talking and stuff, and he was just telling me, never be ashamed to be a Christian, never. And it's really hard sometimes going out and feeding sandwiches and just going up to random strangers and just saying, hey, can we pray for you? And hoping they don't yell at you or, do anything, but it's you just can't be ashamed. And I just want to thank everyone for giving me such a good experience. And if you ever need any work around your house, just hire anyone here and you'll get it done in like 20 minutes. They're such hard workers and they all love God and they're all amazing people. So thank you.